young Republican group chat and have leaked it. Politico has found it, and wouldn't you know it? Can you believe? I'm sure we're just so shocked to find out that all the young Republicans are actually secret Nazis. What? That's so shocking. Thousands of private messages reveal young GOP leaders joking about gas chambers, slavery, and rape. Excellent. That's so lovely. Here, let's just look. This is just some up front just to look at. Everyone that votes no is going to the gas chamber. When do we bring that side out? You're giving nationals too much credit and expecting the Jew to be honest. Are you going to do whatever it takes? Great. I love Hitler. Also, we are officially under consideration for a Trump endorsement. I'm ready to watch people burn now. I'd go to a zoo if I wanted to watch monkey play ball. I can only imagine what that's about. If we ever had a leak of this chat, we would be cooked for real, for real. Leaders of the young Republican group throughout the country worried what would happen if their Telegram chat ever got leaked, but they kept typing anyway. They referred to black people as monkeys and the watermelon people, and mused about putting their political opponents in gas chambers. They talked about raping their enemies and driving them to suicide, and lauded Republicans who they believed supported slavery. Pretty standard Republican, if you ask me. These people will try to pretend that they don't. They're like, oh, no, my power level is much less than that, actually. Please don't say that I'm a racist. They get so precious about it. William Hendricks, the Kansas Young Republicans vice chair, used the word... Oh, I see. He used many variations of the N-word more than a dozen times in the chat. Bobby Walker, the vice chair of the New York State Republicans at the time, referred to rape as epic. Peter Giunta, who at the time was chair of the same organization, wrote in a message sent in June that, quote, everybody that votes no is going to the gas chambers. Giunta was referring to an upcoming vote on whether or not he should become chair of the Young Republican National Federation, the GOP's 15,000-member political organization for Republicans between 18 and 40 years old. Wow. A place for old men to groom young ones. Lovely. I'm going to create some of the greatest physiological torture methods known to man. We only want true believers, he continued. 2 members of the chat responded. When do we start bullying, dude? We have a solid 3 people who can have them want to jump? If they vote for us, why would they be gassed? When do we bring that side out? I'm going to create some of the greatest physiological tortures. We only want true believers. Hey, can we fix the showers? Gas chambers don't fit the Hitler aesthetic. I'm ready to watch people burn now. We got to pretend that we like them. Hey, come on in. Take a nice shower and relax. Boom, they're dead. Peter Giunta, Bobby Walker, Ann Kate Katie, Joe Maligno. This is what you would name like a villain. Maligno. Spreads his own cancer around. Rachel Hope and Alex Dwyer. Oh, the exchange is part of a trove of Telegram chats obtained by Politico and spanning more than 7 months of messages among young Republican leaders in New York, Kansas, Arizona, and Vermont. The chat offers an unfiltered look at how a new generation of GOP activists talk when they think no one is listening. Since Politico began making inquiries, one member of the group chat is no longer employed at their job, and another's job offer was rescinded. Prominent New York Republicans, including Rep. Elise Stefanik and State Senate Minority Leader Rob Ort, have denounced the chat. Oh, they've denounced it. And festering resentment among young Republicans have now turned into public recriminations, including alleged allegations of character assassinations and extortion. 2,900 pages of chat shared among a dozen millennial and Gen Z Republicans between early January and mid-August chronicle their campaign to seize control of the National Young Republican organizations on a hardline pro-Donald Trump platform. Many of the chat members already work inside the government or party politics, and one serves as state senator. Together, the messages reveal a culture where racist, anti-Semitic, and violent rhetoric circulate freely, and where the Trump-era loosening of political norms has made such talk feel less taboo among those positioning themselves as the party's next leaders. Are you telling me that they feel like they can just really let out their true feelings and just be the Nazis we were calling them? That's crazy. So have you ever wondered, so this is why they're called Nazis. This is why people are like, hey, I think those guys are Nazis, because they say Nazi stuff all the time. The more the political atmosphere is open and liberating, like it has been with the emergence of Trump and the more right-wing GOP even before him, it opens up young people and older people to telling racist jokes, making racist commentaries in private and public. That's true, said Joe Fegan, a Texas A&M sociology professor who has studied racism for the last 60 years. He's also concerned the words will be applied to public policy. It's chilling, of course, because they will act on these views. Absolutely. The dynamic of easy racism and casual cruelty played out in often dark, vivid fashion inside the chats, where campaign talk and party gossip blurred into streams of slurs and violent fantasies. Look at this Chad. God damn. It's always these guys that are, of course, letting us know. You should get a Taylor. Letting us know where the real second-class citizens are. He's going to tell us. Peter Gunta. Looks like he's got a Gunta. I know that's not politically correct, but we're looking at his Gunta while we read this paragraph. The group chat members spoke freely about the pressure to cow to Trump to avoid being called a rhino, the love of Nazis within their party's right wing, and the president's alleged work to suppress documents related to wealthy financier Jeffrey Epstein's child sex crimes. Well, currently the federal government shut down so that we don't do this. So that's good. Trump's too busy burning the Epstein files. Alex Dwyer, the chair of the Kansas Young Republicans, wrote in one instance, like he knows. He's like, I don't care that he's a pedophile. Alex Dwyer doesn't give a shit. Dwyer and Katie declined to comment. Maligno and Hendricks did not return requests for comment, but some involved in the chat did respond publicly. Gunta claims the release of the chat is part of a, quote, highly coordinated year-long character assassination led by Gavin Wax of the New York City Young Republican Club, an allusion to the once obscured internecine war that has now spilled out into the open. Internecine. That's a new one for me. I thought it was well read until right now. Destructive of both sides. I mean, context clues led me to what I thought. That's what I thought it meant, but, well, something like that, at least. These logs were sourced by way of extortion and provided to Politico by the very same people conspiring against me, he said. What's most disheartening is that despite my unwavering support of President Donald Trump since 2016, rogue members of his administration, including Gavin Wax, have participated in this conspiracy to ruin me publicly simply because I challenged them privately. So I guess it's like, yeah, I said those things in private, but I don't like that people know about it. Wax, a staffer in Trump's State Department, formerly led the New York Young Republican Club, a separate city-based group that is at odds with the state organization, the New York State Republicans. He declined to comment, despite his allusions to infighting. Gunta still apologized. I am sorry to those offended by the insensitive and inexcusable language found within the more than 28,000 messages of a private group chat that I created during my campaign to lead the Young Republicans. While I take complete responsibility, I have no way of verifying their accuracy, and I'm deeply concerned that the message logs in question may have been deceptively doctored. Yeah. That's all. That's the only thing they're ever going to say. It's not real. It's just not real. And you know what? Sadly, a lot of people will just buy that, it's not real all the time. At least one person in the Telegram chat works in the Trump administration, Michael Bartels, who, according to his LinkedIn account, serves as a senior advisor in the Office of General Counsel within the U.S. Small Business Administration. Bartels did not have much to say in the chat, but he didn't offer any pushback against the offensive rhetoric either. He declined to comment. They all did. A notarized affidavit signed by Bartels and obtained by Politico also sheds light on the intra-party rivalry that led to the Restorayer War Room? Restorayer War Room? I don't know. Does that mean something? Telegram chat to be made public. Bartels referenced Wax as well. She wrote that he did not give Politico the chat and that Wax demanded in a phone call that he provide the full chat log. So it seems like it's Wax. When I attempted to resist that demand after providing some of the requested information, Wax threatened my professional standing and raised the possibility of potential legal action related to an alleged breach of non-disclosure agreements. Bartels claimed in the affidavit, my position within the New York Young Republicans Club was directly threatened. Oh no. Are you telling me the fascists are eating themselves? That's so unlike them. Walker, who now leads the New York State Young Republicans, touched on a similar theme, saying that he believes portions of the chat may have been altered, taken out of context, or otherwise manipulated, and that the private exchanges were obtained and released in a way clearly intended to inflict harm. He also apologized. So they're fake, but also there's no excuse for the language and tone and message attributed to me. The language is wrong and hurtful, and I sincerely apologize. This has been a painful lesson about judgment and trust, and I am committed to moving forward with greater care, respect, and accountability in everything I say and do. I promise you I will let people know I'm outwardly racist, less outwardly. It will happen less often because I got caught. I'm still a racist, though, obviously. 251 times. Mixed into formal conversation about whipping votes, social media strategy, and logistics, the members of the chat slung around an array of slurs, which Politico is republishing to show how they spoke. Epithets like the F slur, R slur, and the N slur appeared more than 251 times combined. Let's go. In one instance, Walker, who at the time was a staffer for Ort, talked about how a mutual friend in some chat, quote, dated this very obese Indian woman for a period of time. Gunta responded with that the woman was not Indian. She just didn't bathe often. Samuel Douglas, a state senator from northern Vermont and the head of state's Young Republicans, replied. A state senator, Samuel Douglas? Oh, that's good. We should be talking about this guy. In a separate conversation, he's saying, of course, that just, people who are dark-skinned don't wash. In a separate conversation, Gunta shared that his flight to Charleston, South Carolina landed safely. Then he offered some advice for his fellow young Republicans. Quote, if your pilot is a she and she looks 10 shades darker than someone from Sicily, just end it there. Scream the no-no word. Douglas did not respond to requests for comment. In a statement, Orr called for members of the chat to resign. I was shocked and disgusted to learn about the racist, anti-Semitic, and misogynistic comments attributed to the members of the New York State Young Republicans. Orr said that behavior is indefensible and has no place in our party or anywhere in public life. Yeah, I'm sure he doesn't. Oh my God, another one. Jesus, these Chads. Look at this fucking Chad. Pink-cheeked. This fucking guy. I don't know. Maybe they're right about this whole master race thing. I think they're onto something. That's Bobby Walker, a rising star in politics. I'm telling you, there are so many leftists that are just like good-looking, charismatic. Just go fucking beat these guys in politics. Just go join. These guys are nerds. Go do that. They'll pay you to do this shit. You get paid for this. You gotta go fundraising shit, but don't worry about it. Walker had been in line to manage the Republican Peter O'Backers campaign for Congress in upstate New York, but the spokesperson for the campaign said Walker won't be brought in on light of the comments. Good. Seeking Trump's endorsement. The private rhetoric isn't happening in a vacuum. It comes amid a widespread coarsening of the broader political discourses, incendiary and racially offensive tropes from the right become increasingly common in public debate. Last month, Trump posted an artificial intelligence-generated video that showed House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries in a sombrero beside Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, whose fabricated remarks were about trading free health care for immigrant votes, a false long-running GOP trope. The sombrero meme has been widely used to mock Democrats as the government shutdown wears on. But why? Why the sombrero? Which of Cascadia? Thanks for following. Is he saying that Hakeem Jeffries is Mexican or something? Is that the joke? He just saw a brown guy? Or is he saying that he just you guys like Mexicans? They're just folks from Mexico. Why wouldn't I like them? It's literally it. Okay. I guess you gotta be a real racist to be tickled by it. Sorry. I have higher standards for comedy. My bad. In his 2024 campaign, Trump spread false reports of Haitian migrants eating pets. Oh, yeah. He did do that. We have a bit dono for that, don't we? Don't we still have fucking... Yeah, we have that one. At one of his rallies, he welcomed comedian Tony Hinchcliffe, who called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage, and joked about black people carving watermelons on Halloween. I mean, that is... Tony Hinchcliffe loves racism. He loves racism. He's a big racism guy. If you can do racist stuff on Kill Tony, he cracks up. Liz Houston, a White House spokesperson, rejected the idea that Trump's rhetoric had anything to do with this chat member's language. Quote, only an activist left-wing reporter would desperately try to tie President Trump into a story about a random group chat he has no affiliation with.
They're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats.
Thank you, Taco Cat. That's a good one. That's true. Don't look it up. He says it. It's true. While failing to mention the dangerous smears coming from Democrat politicians who have fantasized about murdering their opponent and called Republicans Nazis and fascists. They're literally saying they are Nazis and fascists. What are you talking about? He's saying, yeah, they love gas chambers. What, man? In the Restorer War Room chat, Gunta tells his fellow Republicans that he spoke with the White House about an endorsement from Trump for his bid to become chairman of the National Federation. Trump and the Republican National Committee ultimately decided to stay neutral in the race. A White House official said that it has no affiliation with Restore YR and that hundreds of groups asked the White House for his endorsement. Wait, Restore YR? Restore YR. Restore Young Republicans. Restore! Just all caps. Gunta was the most prominent voice in the chat, spreading racist messages, often encouraging or liked by other members. When Luke Mossaman, the chair of Arizona Young Republicans, asked if the New Yorkers in the chat were watching an NBA playoff game, Gunta responded, I'd go to the zoo if I wanted to watch monkey play ball. That's some racist fucking shit. Gunta elsewhere refers to black people as, quote, the watermelon people. And of course, Jesus fucking Christ, another one? Hendricks made a similar remark in July. Quote, bro is at a chicken restaurant ordering his food. Would he like some watermelon and Kool-Aid with that? Bro is at a chicken restaurant. Hendricks was a communications assistant for Kansas Republican Attorney General Chris Kobach until Thursday. Oops. He also said in the chat that despite political differences, he's drawn to Missouri's Young Republican Organization because Missouri doesn't like F-slurs, which this guy definitely, this is a straight alpha male, okay? This is a goddamn alpha male. These are the dumb motherfuckers that are trying to ruin your lives. I'm telling you, go into politics. Each and every one of you right now, join your local school board, run for office. You're going to win. You're going to fucking win. These guys are dorks. A lot of people win these things and just get put into place because no one ever fucking tries to go against them. These guys are just dorks that are like, oh, I can get lever to power. Just take it from them with your witty personalities. Politico reached out to Denidre Herbert, a spokesperson for the Attorney General who also serves on the Kansas GOP chair, and shared with her excerpts of the chat involving Hendricks. In response, Herbert said that, quote, we are aware of the issues raised in your article and that Hendricks is no longer employed in Kobach's office. That's funny, dude. Yeah, I had some back and forth with the VC in Michigan. Current chair is a deer in the headlights. We have a call Wednesday. Many agree. He did say, my delegates will bring a vote for the most right-wing person. Great. I love Hitler. Wow. Ha ha ha. That's so funny. Peter Gunta. Dwyer reacted with a smiley face. Nice. Few minority groups spared. Gunta is the worst fucking guy in here, who serves as chief of staff to New York State Assemblymaker Mike Riley, ultimately fell 6 points short of winning the chairship to lead the Young Republicans National Federation early this year, despite earning endorsements from Stefanik and longtime Trump advisor Roger Stone. Jesus fucking Christ. Roger Stone likes this guy? I wonder why. He likes the most racist guy in the group chat? Riley did not respond to requests for comment. Roger Stone's favorite guy in the racist group chat is the most racist guy in the racist group chat. Earlier this year, Stefanik accepted an award from the New York State Young Republicans. She lauded Gunta for his tremendous leadership in August in her campaign and had her campaign and political PAC she leads donate to that state organization. Alex DeGrasse, a senior advisor for Stefanik, said that Congresswoman was, quote, absolutely appalled to learn about the alleged comments made by the leaders of the New York State Young Republicans and other state YRs in a large national group chat. Yeah, I'm sure appalled. They're probably appalled that he got caught. According to the description provided by Politico, the comments were heinous, anti-Semitic, racist, and unacceptable. If the descriptions by Politico is accurate, Congresswoman Stefanik calls for any young New York Republican responsible for these horrific comments in this chat to step down immediately. Stone also condemned the comments. I, of course, have never seen this alleged chat room thread because I am innocent. If it is authentic, I would, of course, denounce any such comment. This is such weak shit. I would, of course. This would surprise me as I am... It is inconsistent with Peter that I know, although I know him in his capacity as the head of the New York Young Republicans, where I thought he did a good job. Few minority groups are spared from the Young Republicans group chat. Their rhetoric, normalized at most points as dark humor, mirrors some popular conservative political commentators, podcasters, and comedians amid a national erosion of what's considered acceptable discourse. I agree. Gunta! Well, Gunta's line on a darker-skinned pilot, for example, echoes one used by slain conservative activist Charlie Kirk last year when he said, if I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. Kirk was discussing how diversity hiring invites unwholesome thinking. Walker also uses the moniker Eye Patch McCain in an apparent reference to GOP Rep. Dan Crenshaw. Crenshaw lost his eye while serving as a Navy SEAL. Brave, a troop. Walker also made the remarks, I prefer my war heroes not captured. Repeating the line from Trump. A professor at University of Dayton who specializes in white racial extremism surmised the young Republicans in the chat were influenced by Trump's language, which he said is often hyperbolic and emotionally charged. Of course. Trump's persistent use of hostile, often inflammatory language that normalizes aggressive discourse in conservative circles can be incredibly influential on young operatives who are still trying to figure it out. What is the political discourse? Yeah, exactly. White supremacist symbols. Gibson reviewed multiple excerpts of the Young Republicans chat provided by Politico. One was the late July message where Mosman, the chair of the Arizona Young Republicans, mused about how the group could win support for their preferred candidate by linking an opponent to white supremacist groups. But Mossman then realized the plan could backfire. Kansas's Young Republicans could end up becoming attracted to that opponent. Can we get them to start releasing Nazi edits with her, like pro-Nazi and fascism propaganda? Oh my God, I love this plan. The only problem is we will lose to the Kansas delegation. Because we're all Nazis. And we think everyone is. Gibson said young Republicans' conversation reminded him of online discussions between members of neo-Nazi and white supremacist groups. You say it once or twice, it's a joke, but you say it 251 times, it's no longer a joke. The more we repeat certain ideas, the more real they become to us. Weeks later, someone in the chat staying in the hotel asked its members, guess what room we're in? Dwyer responds, 1488, because it's the Hitler number. In another conversation in February, Gunta talks approvingly about the Orange County Teenage Republican Organization in New York, which appears to be part of the network of national teenage Republicans, and how he was pleased with its young members' ideological bent. They support slavery and all that shit. Mega-based. Mega-based. Our teen volunteers have no affiliation with the NYSYR or the YRNF. The behavior has no home within it. They're all denouncing these boys. I was shocked and disgusted. Vicious words for enemies. Members of the Telegram chat speak about their personal lives too. Extensive discussions about their everyday lives include one exchange about how devoutly Catholic some chat members are and how often they attend church. Many of the slurs, that's not surprising at all. Of course, the religion courts this shit. Many of the slurs, epithets, and violent language used in the chat often appear to be as intended as jokes. Mosselman was derided by members of the chat as, slurs from Mexicans. Stay in the closet, F slur. Walker of New York also jested in July. They used the group's main target for the same epithet. The group's main target. The group used slurs against Asians as well. My people built the train tracks with the Chinese, Walker said at one point, referring to his Italian ancestors. Let his people go, Maligno responded. Keep the slur through. In another instance, Mosselman tells the group that the Spanish came to America and had sex with every single woman. Sex is gay? Dwyer says sex. It was rape. Epic. Yay. Walker loves rape. Wahoo. Probably because, we've seen him. There's more explicit malice in some phrases too, especially when they turn their ire on opponents outside the chat, such as leader of the rival Grow YR, Slate, Hayden Paget, who defeated Gunta and was reelected chairman. You mean Hayden, got his ass. Instead of Hayden Paget, Hayden F. Slur wrote the resolution himself. Wow. Mosselman declared that they should rape him. Adolf Paget is in the... Wow. Paget responded to the chat's language in a statement. The Young Republican National Federation condemns all forms of racism, anti-Semitism, and hate, of course. I want to be clear that such behavior is entirely inconsistent. This is the same shit every time. Oh my god, another one! You're telling me this is one of the most racist motherfuckers in the group chat? Whoa! Samuel Douglas! These dumb fucking losers. Gunta also had expletive-laden criticism for the Young Republicans. Minnesota F slurs again. Continuing Arkansas inbred cow fuckers. Nebraska revolt in our favor. Block their bind and have majority of their delegates. Maryland fat stinky Jew. Rhode Island traitorous cunts who I will eradicate from the face of this planet. Gunta also, he's all over this thing. He planned to make one of the competing Young Republicans unalive himself on the convention floor. Oh, cool. In another instance, Douglas, the Vermont state senator, described to the group members how one of Paget's Jewish colleagues may have made a procedural error related to the number of Maryland delegates permitted at the national convention. I was about to say you're giving nationals too much credit and expecting the Jew, to be honest. Breonna Douglas, Sam's wife and Vermont Young Republican National Committee member, replied to her husband's message. Breonna Douglas did not respond to repeated requests for comment. Woof! Lots of anti-Semitism, lots of racism, lots of slurs. While reporting this article, Politico was examining a separate allegation that Gunta and the Young Republicans mismanaged the New York organization's finances and hadn't paid at least one venue for a swanky holiday party they hosted. Financial disclosure forms and how subsequent efforts to file the forms revealed the organization was in more than $28K of debt. As of Tuesday, updated records show that it's more than $38K. Donations to New York State Young Republicans' political account must be reported to the State Board of Elections. So should expenditures.
If I was gay or something.
Are these the same individuals who keep crashing Grindr at every MAGA rally? Oh, probably. At the same time, Gunta told Politico the allegations were nothing more than a sad and pathetic attempt at a political hit job. But there's evidence in the chat that he's flippant. The account will be like $500 balding cream, $1,000 Ozempic, Walker said in one message. NYSYR will be declaring bankruptcy after this. I just know it, he said in another. I drained $10K tonight to pay for my next vacation in Italy. Joked about the bank account. I spent it on a massage, he says in another check that was deposited in the account. Great. Can't wait to get sued by our venue, Walker replies. Members of the chat occasionally appeared to be aware of its toxicity and even made remarks that considered the possibility someone outside their tight-knit group could view it. Walker seemed to consider that possibility the most. In one instance, he joked about bombing the Young Republican National Federation's convention in Nashville and then remarked, just kidding, for our assigned FBI tracker. In another, he considered the totality of the 10,000s message he and his peers had written and what would happen if the public saw them. If we ever had a leak of this chat, we would be cooked for real. So, as you can see, Your Honor, when people call Republicans like these Nazis, it's because they're saying that they love Hitler and that they want to gas people and that they hate the Jews and they call black people monkeys. So, like, that's pretty much where we get the Nazi stuff from. He's pretty ironclad to me as far as opinions go. Like, you could just be like, it's my opinion that these people are Nazis based on the evidence. Can we please call them Nazis now? I mean, that's terrorism, okay? No one called them Nazis. You're committing a terrorism if you read and synthesize information properly, okay? We are in an anti-intellectual era of existence, which has pretty much been always, but mostly now. Don't say nothing smart, okay? I don't want to hear a goddamn smart thing from any of you. All I want to hear you do is subscribe immediately.